Morning, everybody. We are the Breakfast Club. We got our guest co-host, Jess Hilarious, and it's time for some front page news. Teslin Figaro is here. Good morning, Tez.
Good morning, DJ Envy, Charlamagne the God, and Jess back with us again. Good morning.
Girl, what's up?
Hey.
Now, last night, the Knicks lost to the Heat 109-101. It didn't look good for my Knicks last night. Man, the Heat just hit everything last night. Everything. They were playing good defense, but they lost. All right. Now, the Lakers beat the Warriors. I didn't stay up for that game. Charlamagne, did you adjust the job?
I did, because when I was walking in the house, the game was still on, so I watched it.
You want to tell us anything about it? Was it good? Was it not good?
It was heartbreaking. I mean, because I picked the Warriors to win the championship before the year's over. Now they down 3-1.
But Lakers lead that series 3-1.
I just said that.
Lead the series 3-1. All right, now we got to get into some front page news. Now, the Brownsville driver who hit a crowd of asylum seekers is charged with manslaughter. What's going on with that, Tess?
Yeah, so over the weekend, we'd heard about the crowd being hit, but now they have identified who actually was the driver. So police in Texas has identified 34-year-old George Arce as the driver who plowed into a group of people near a migrant shelter Sunday morning in Brownsville, Texas. Now, 8 people died and 10 were injured as a result of the crash. Alvarez has been charged with reckless driving, 8 counts of manslaughter, and 10 counts of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. Now, he tried to flee the scene, but he was held down by bystanders. Authorities are awaiting a toxicology report to see if he was impaired. They have not ruled out if it was intentional, and authorities said that he had an extensive rap sheet. Now, the victims were migrants seeking asylum, and speaking of migrants seeking asylum, Title 42 expires this Thursday, and they are expecting 10 to 15,000 migrants at the border ready to enter the U.S. Now, President Biden has sent 1,500 troops to do paperwork, but Texas Governor Abbott said he is sending troops for protection. So this is kind of like a versus battle between protection and paperwork. Abbott has announced a new National Guard unit called the Texas Tactical Border Force. Take a listen of what he had to say. We'll talk about it on the other side.
We're here today because of the impending end of Title 42 policy. With the Biden administration ending Title 42 this Thursday, President Biden is laying down a welcome mat to people across the entire world, saying that the United States border is wide open and it would lead to an incredible amount of people coming across the border illegally.
So say that again, Ted. Biden sending troops for paperwork?
Yes. Yeah, so he's sending 1,500 troops, and he defended it by saying that there's not enough agents at the border to process folks coming in. So he's sending them to do paperwork, data entry, not for actual law enforcement. And so Governor Abbott was like, no, that's not it. In true Charlamagne fashion.
Biden a damn lie. Biden sending those troops for protection, too. He's just wording it better. For political
you got to word
reasons.
it differently.
Don't that sound crazy, though? Even if so, you send these trained troops.
Ain't no troops going to do no damn paperwork.
To do some paperwork?
They're not secretaries. Like, stop.
That's what he said. And Abbott was like, no, we're giving them all the tools that they need, all the weapons that they need, even giving them stuff for the water. And I mean, they're really, right. He said, so Abbott is like, so this is the verses that we don't need because I think about from a military standpoint, you have 2 different troops who are under different commands. So I'm hoping that itself won't be a problem. You know what I'm saying?
And you speaking from a veteran perspective, Taz, you a veteran.
From a veteran perspective, I have to remind folks I'm a veteran. But yeah, that is I don't know what this is going to look like on Thursday. And then don't forget New York. A lot of these folks will be shipped right on to New York. Governor Abbott is going to be sending folks right to New York and other cities and say, hey, since you believe in welcoming everybody, get ready to get a load of migrants on in the following weeks.
And as far as that Brownsville driver, man, lock them up. You know what I'm saying? Throw them under the jail. Because there's nobody I hate that much that I'm going to throw my freedom out the window for them. Like, if you hate somebody that much, ignore them. But you're going to run your car through them, and now you about to go to prison?
Yeah, lock him up.
You deserve it. You earned that.
And allegedly, and this is still alleged, they have not confirmed it. They said that he was shouting racial slurs. They don't know yet. That's why they're saying they're not ruling it out if it was intentional or not, or if he was just drunk or what the deal is. So more facts should be coming out with that, in the days to come. But it's just, you got folks getting caught in barbed wire. You got a lot of folks trying to get over you. There's no really any structure. People are going to be seeking asylum. How is that going to work on the spot? President Biden is also sending asylum asylum judges to make decisions on who should come and who should not come. So just prepare for this to be a definitely political issue. Especially as we go into 2024. And I predict former President Trump will also be talking about this Wednesday at his CNN town hall.
All right. Well, that is front page news. Thank you, Tez. We'll see you in a couple minutes.
Absolutely.
Everybody else, the People's Choice. The People's Choice. Get it off your chest. 800-585-1051. If you need to vent, phone lines are wide open. And a friend of mine just hit me, Charlamagne, shout to Splash. He said it's not Lionel, it's Linus. But the blankie. Line this.
Tell him thank you. We appreciate the Charlie Brown tutorial.
All right, just want to tell you. Right. But get it off your chest. 800-585-1051. It's the Breakfast Club. Come on. Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. What I realized today is sometimes you should not go out on school nights. And these two individuals right here
just the drunk one.
I'm going to go into detention later on because you guys went out last night.
First of all, I'm literally in detention right now because I'm suffering over here, but it's okay.
Your makeup look good though.
Oh my God, thank you so much. This is the new. I'm so glad you asked me what it was.
He didn't. He didn't ask you what it was.
All right, either way, it's this new. I went to Sephora yesterday.
Okay.
And I got this new glitter gel stuff. It's really nice.
I like it. It's Crown Royal purple. See, it matched the bag.
It's not. And it's giving auntie. Put it down. Thank you.
Oh my goodness, Teslin. Good morning, Tez.
Good morning.
Jess Hilarious is our guest host, Teslin Figaro. Please help us out. Let's get in some front page news. These guys are twisted. They drunk. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, they still Cinco de Mayo. Happy Cinco de Mayo.
Yes, happy Cinco de Mayo.
Thank you.
Now, last night, the Lakers beat the Warriors 104-101. They lead the series 3-1. The Heat beat the Knicks 109-101. They lead the series 3-1 as well. Hopefully, I think I'm going to go to the Knicks game this week. But what else we got, Taz? We got to talk about Biden's approval rating.
Yes, so in ABC News, Washington Post poll found that 2 weeks after President Biden came out and announced his re-election campaign, his approval rating sank even lower. Biden's approval rate dipped to 36%, down from February and just below his previous low in 2022. 56% disapprove of the job that the president has done so far, and the majority of the Democrats surveyed, 58%, said they would rather Democrats pick someone else to be the nominee. But there are some warning signs also for former President Donald Trump as well. That same poll indicated that they believe that Biden and Trump are too old to run. So the bottom line is all polls across the board are not interested in Biden and Trump's rematch and saying they're too old. So but what is the alternative? We've talked about that before. What's the alternative? Who else?
If people are saying that they don't want those people running, isn't this a democracy where we get to decide?
No, it's not. And it's a damn shame America don't have any other options because we're in a two-party system. Folks don't really want Trump. Folks don't really want Biden. We just stuck with what we got.
Yeah.
And that's a damn shame.
He said he's too old to run.
Yeah, it's given very much like ex-boyfriend that refuses to leave and forcing you to stay in a relationship is sad.
No, ex-boyfriend with a 4-inch penis and you keep saying more, and he's like, it's all I got. I'm sorry.
Why is everything around penis with you and more,
and there's a lot of deflection.
All right. Well, let's talk about black unemployment rates. Yes.
Yeah, so let's talk about black unemployment. It hit a record low for the second consecutive month in April. Now, according to data from the Bureau of Labor Statistics, only 4.7% of black workers in the U.S. didn't have a job and were looking for one. But despite the good news, the thing is, this report showed that black men were departing the labor force at the fastest pace in 3 years. Meanwhile, black women who have a slower recovery, which means it's harder for them to recover from, when economics are in a bad place, they had substantial gains. The share of black women who were employed increased to 61% in April from 60% in March. Now, the percent of black men who were employed fell to 64% from 66%. So the bottom line is, let me just translate that to make it simple. Black women, they're finding more opportunities. Black men are finding less opportunities. So my thoughts on that, guys, is, instead of the last 2 weeks, talking about who dates a bus driver, who didn't date a bus driver, it would have been great, if something like this could have went viral to talk about, what is happening with black employment, what is happening with black men and being able to find, opportunities. Just to point out, there are 4 causes on why black men cannot find employment. And guess what? None of those have anything to do with being lazy. The number one reason is discrimination and social isolation.
Mm-hmm. That's real. And you said something else in there too, Tez. A lot of people are just quitting the workforce altogether. And I wonder if it's because all these conversations, people be screaming about ownership. And, folks is quitting the workforce to start businesses that don't nobody care about. You got a whole LLC for nothing.
That's literally what it is. It's like that's what social media, and that's what I say a lot of influencers have done. They make it uncool to work, to go punch a clock or whatever. That's why I always say the philosophy of the internet being taken away, then what y'all gonna do? Everybody gotta go clock in somewhere, because how we all gonna make it? And then a lot of people be grabbing businesses but not business minded. It's a whole mindset. You can't just, like you said, grab an LLC and think, oh, you gonna make, you got to take a lot of L's to be an entrepreneur. I'm one, I know. You know what I'm saying? I own a lot of businesses. Ownership, black ownership.
And to that point, when you said, a lot of folks are quitting, keep in mind that's not in the actual numbers. So when people say, oh, the employment rate is down, for black people, they have all these jobs. They're getting out of the market. So it's not included in who's actually employed. In other words, if you start a business and you have no income coming in, technically you're unemployed. You don't have any money, but that's not included in that number. So you'll hear a lot of debate saying, oh, especially as we get into campaign season, black people have jobs and the unemployment rate is down. But no, it's not including. That doesn't mean that folks have income and that they have jobs. And you're absolutely right with that, Jess. When you start a business, I've been self-employed for over a decade, and I posted on my Instagram the other day showing my Uber in 2000, just 4 or 5 years ago. I had to Uber, and that was going from having over 300 employees, over 100,000 a month in payroll. And guess what I had to do? Uber, 368 trips in the bank. So to run your business, there's a lot that you will do that you don't think you will have to do, especially as a mother.
What's the last regular job you had, Jess? Didn't you used to work at a morgue or something?
Nah, so I was lying about that. But yeah, I used to work at McDonald's. Yeah.
I be telling people, I said, Jess used to work at a mortuary. You lied?
Yeah.
This girl.
But yeah, I worked at, I was a PRP counselor, so I used to work with kids. And then I realized, I don't like them like that. So then I was like, all right, cool. I got to get out of here. And I started to do comedy. Okay. I did go to school for mortuary science. And I didn't work at a morgue. We had to do clinicals. And that's when I didn't come back.
Oh, you had to work on the actual body?
Yeah, do the whole embalming process.
Damn.
Yeah, and you put too much in, then limbs still move. I mean, the body is dead, but they still move. Yeah. And I can't deal with that. Damn. So I was like, I'm going to be a comedian.
Well, thank you, Tez. We appreciate you.
Absolutely.
And make sure you subscribe to Tez and Figueroa's podcast, the Straight Shot No Chaser podcast on the Black Effect iHeartRadio podcast network.
And that's a good question. Like, what's the worst job you had to do to get by, right? Whether you had to work in the morgue, whether you had to, whatever you required.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't think there's such thing as a worst job. I think that as long as
there's some people out there, I'm sure, that had a horrible job.
No, I mean maybe a hard job, but man, if you're making an honest living and you're able to put some food on the table and keep a roof over your head, I don't think there's any such thing as a worst job.
Yeah, and you don't let society cloud your mind about what is good for you.
That's right.
Or, you know what I'm saying?
Let's open up the phone lines. 800-585-1051. What's one of the worst jobs that you guys had, that you guys hated, that you would never go back? I mean, I did everything. It's going to sound crazy, but I grabbed balls at the U.S. Open, tennis balls.
You are wild, bro.
Oh, I'm wild.
All you got to do is say, I was a ball picker upper or something.
That's the same thing.
I used to grab balls
at the U.S. Open.
And then you knew it was a pause moment coming.
That's why I said pause.
You can't say nothing else about him being gay.
Just running around at the U.S. Open grabbing random people's balls.
Shoot, he was like, I used to grab balls. That was the first job that came to your mind?
That was one of my jobs. I was a telemarketer. Hi.
I used to call you the beige ball grabber.
Hi, how you doing? This is shut up. Hi, this is Sean from Pelco Fuel. How are you doing today, ma'am?
Oh my God.
Oh, great. I hear a kid in the background. Do you want to save some money? Because I know school costs could be up there. Well, this is how you can do it. Here at Pelco Fuel, we're offering 10 cents off a home fuel. Yes, that's right. You know what?
You said that. We're offering 10 cents off
That's what I heard too.
You like the grab balls?
I heard that too.
I do too.
You need to clean that up.
Home heating fuel. That's what I said. I said home.
No, you didn't.
Fuel.
You talk too fast and you be blurring your words. That sounded crazy.
But that's why I didn't work too well there. That's why it didn't work for me there.
That sounded wild just now.
Oh my goodness.
Okay.
800-585-1051. One of the worst jobs you ever had. Call us now. It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning.
Wake that ass up.
In the morning.
The Breakfast Club.